Okay, that worked. My record button isn't working. Hello, everybody. This is Bear with Friendly Neighborhood Gamer, and today is an early Earthborne Rangers. Normally, I record this on Fridays, but today I'm doing it a bit early because tomorrow is Good Friday, and my partner Turnip has the day off. So we're going to go hiking, which is kind of in line with what we're doing here. Today we're doing Earthborne Rangers. This is day 5. I kind of left you guys on a little bit of a cliffhanger, which I, as a person, hate when stories do that, but I can't help it when my day ended in the game. If you remember last week, we had a situation where I was just trying to finish this quest to lure out Quiet, the apex predator. It was a lynx, a bearded lynx, and I was able to do that, but as is going on in the real world, things happen without you being able to be in control. It took me a little longer. It took me about a day, or it took me 2 days to finish that quest in game, and the world progressed. I acquired some new quests, one of which being Rising Waters. The spirit, the magic user in this game, that was visiting our hometown, was going to water the flowers, but accidentally caused a huge storm with his magic, which gave me the quest Rising Waters. I have to go to 3 locations. The first being White Sky, the town off the lake. I already finished that. I saved a few people there. You can catch that on my last video. And then today I'm hopefully going to try to go to these other 2 locations. Kobo's Market, which is to the south, and then Golden Shore, which I met up with Muscle Mama. Don't remember her real name, but that's what we called her in chat. And she gave me a ride across the lake, so I didn't have to walk all the way around the lake. I could just get straight there. So I'm starting the game today in Golden Shore, and then I'm going to try and meet the requirements of the quest, and then move down to Kobo's Market, which I've never been to, so I have no idea what that place is like, but I'm going to find out in the midst of this raging, floody storm. Floody, is that a word? I don't know. The other quest I have, which I'm hopefully not going to interact with at all today, because it's a pain in the butt. There is this caustic mulcher that's roaming around outside of Lone Tree Station, and it one of my elder rangers, Nal, wants me to peacefully deal with it, whereas the other one, looking for his Cordo, wants me to kill it. He's like, this thing is a pain in the ass. It's just a thorn in the side. Get rid of it. Well, I got this quest while I was actually being like sucked up into this giant thing, and it's moving through the trees. And so chat last week decided that I should murder this thing. It didn't work out well for me. I moved on and continued the quest I was on after that, because I think that knocked me out for the day. I am starting with 2 lingering wounds in my deck, which is not great. So yeah, I'm going to finish setting up here real quick. Got to put my tokens on the board here, and then we'll get started. Chat, how is everybody doing while I'm doing this? Put those over there. Open up this tin so I have it and it's available for use. Switch over to the top-down view. guys can see my play area here. I will kindly move that out of the way because I know blue will appreciate that. Got the player deck, got my character, got the weather. All right, so we're starting here on day 5. We're starting at Golden Shore, and the quest says to use 1.05 instead of the normal entries for this location. .05. Tributary streams north of the shoreline have begun to spill their banks, becoming a boiling sluice of brown water amongst the pines. If the water isn't redirected, it could wash out long stretches of the shoreline and carry away dozens or even hundreds of trees. So divert the flood by clearing beings and features which, while they have a flood card attached. I've already got the 2 flood cards and shuffled them to the path deck. Search the general set for 2 flood cards, shuffle 1 into the deck, then attach the other card to the being or feature from the path deck that is in play with the highest presence. So because it's my second day of this flood, I have to, I start with one of the flood cards already attached to a creature. Yeah. It's odd that is like that, but okay. We'll deal with it at some point other than now, because I want to get to going. So, upon arriving at Golden Shore, we've already read the blurb instead of the one here. It says arrival setup. The lead ranger draws 1 path card. So I'm going to shuffle these because I don't want to go in not shuffling them. Give them a little shuffle duffle. All right, so I draw a card. And then, I should have shuffled one of these in there because I want to get them. They're important to get this quest moving forward. And then, following the order of operations, round structure, we start round 1 by drawing a card. Ooh, a romping lutrinol. So that is the highest. So that attaches there. So flood is on that. And I'll have the keywords on there so I can know what to do when things happen. I'm going to drive some viewers crazy by shuffling these real quick. And I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. All right, so we're going to draw our starting hand. 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a not great hand, but it is what I got. I think I can actually take a mulligan because I don't have any weapons, and I'd really like to get into. I'd like to draw into either a weapon or there she is, quiet. I got 2 quiets, 2, 4, 5, and 6. So I drew into my Carbon Forged Trowel, my Orland Thumper, and both versions of quiet, which I'll reduce here so we can easily see more of the board. All right, so these get shuffled back in. My 1 mulligan. All right, so we've done step 1, path card. Step 2 is Ranger's turn. So I have my hand. First and foremost, I when this ambush came out, or when this romping Lutrinol came out, I have to exhaust a card. I want to get quiet out, so I'm going to spend the 2 fitness to get quiet out immediately. She is super powerful and super helpful. Let's see here. I wonder if I can get this to... Zoom in. And that is as zoomed out as it can get. Okay. It's odd that it is cutting off that much of the board, but I don't know. It's odd. We'll have to figure it out. Till then, I'll just keep rolling with it, and we'll figure it out. Let's see. So I did that. I took my ambush from being attacked, or not attacked, but bothered by this romping Lutrinol. I'm going to exhaust the romping Lutrinol. Or not exhaust, I'm going to lower its presence to 0. And then it says exhaust. Add 3 damage to a being, and damage to quiet equal to that being's presence. Well, I just reduce its presence to 0. So she kills that, and this gets taken off. And I think I have to get 3. Yes, I have to get 3 of those tokens. So there's my first one. Quiet kind of makes this into like a easy mode. I'll shuffle this back into my deck. She can just really tear through any kind of damage, any creature that I want to kill. Let's do this a little more efficiently here. I'll try to get all my cards facing the same way so that nice. All right. Shuffled the flood card back in. I kind of want to just search through that deck. These clams, muckets as they're called, don't really bother me. So spirit. So this location has spirit plus triangle. It says contemplate the rhythmic waves as they lap the glittering shore. And that you can soothe the fatigue for every 2 effort. We're in the middle of a flood, man. I don't know if that is the case, but so I'm trying to think. I don't have any more fitness. Spirit, I can connect to the animals there, and try to remove them, which I kind of don't want to do. Focus is remembering my training and avoiding. So I want to mull through the deck, but unfortunately this area doesn't have that ability. That sucks. Let me put those markers on there. Make sure I have enough of those. And I feel like as long as I don't take a test, I can't progress the storm. So that's fine. I just have to, I got to get those flood cards, but I don't have a way to make that go. Let's look at my cards here. Suffer damage. No, none of these cards are really helpful. One with nature. A lot of these I took because of the hearts, because I had a heart deficit when I was making my deck. It sounds like I'm the Grinch or something. So I will end my turn. Travel, I have nothing, no travel on there. I just realized I don't even have the deck out for, which the challenge deck out, which would have been a problem eventually. once I tried to make my first challenge deck. My first challenge. So travel, I've not moved that. I ready everything. Draw a card, which is a bold. And then, so I refresh, draw that. Go back to top, path card. I draw a card. Carnivorous Naiad. That is up the road, not right in front of me. We will need to deal with that because that is Carnivorous Naiad says you cannot, essentially it grabs you. You cannot remove your ranger token except with the following test. So it grabs you, and then once it's got you, you put your ranger token on it, and it's a fitness, and the link says pull yourself free from the constricting lakeweed and add a damage to this feature equal to your fitness aspect. And remove your ranger token from it. So once it grabs you, you have to deal with it, of course. Excuse me. I'm here in North Carolina, and the pollen is kicking my butt, even on the inside of the house. So I don't like this. I'm going to reduce its presence to 0, and then I'm going to tell Quiet to have at it. So that's 3 damage. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. So it's got 3 damage left. Again, Quiet makes this easy mode. I'm going to use some more time. I'm going to equip my carbon forged trowel. That cost me 2 fitness. Because that is a plant. It is a fauna. And the trowel says I can tend to the local plants to add or discard damage from a flora equal to your effort. So I'm not great with spirit, but it gives me a way to attack this thing in a different way. And it gives me a way to do it without taking damage. Because if you attack it, you have the chance of taking damage or something along those lines. So don't want to do that. So I'll spend my spirit. And it's done with triangle. I don't have any triangles. We'll see what happens. Spirit 0. It's a sunshine. You got to do the sunshine actions on everything. It says here, discard 1 rain from this card. Each ranger suffers 1 fatigue. If there's no rain remaining, flip this. So I take a fatigue. I take off one of the sunshine tokens. The Carnivorous Naiad says the ranger with the most fatigue must discard an awareness. And if I can't, then it grabs me. Sunshine here, it says if there is an exhausted predator, ready it. Oh, Quiet loses the predator tag once it becomes a companion. That would be broken. If she could eat one of these clams and be ready and attack for me again. So that's all my sunshine tokens over here. And my effort was 1, so I deal 1 damage to it. I'm just over here gardening in the water, trying to get this thing out of here. Flooding, and I'm deciding to garden, as one does. Again, I don't really have a way to go through this deck quickly. This is frustrating. Let me see. I guess the best thing I can do is try to remember. So I'll spend two of my tokens here. I'm technically supposed to shuffle that, but it's 1 card, so I'm just going to put it in the middle of the deck. I'm going to try to remember. Jesus, I got another shuffle. So 2, 0, nothing bad happens. Let's go down the list. It says nothing happens on that. I don't see any other red angry symbol, so we're good. So I remember my training. I get to scout 2 cards on my deck. I don't like really either of those. So I will move those to the bottom, that out of the way, and then, I mean, the only thing I can do left is to avoid, which I don't need to avoid anything. So I'll just end my turn. So everything readies, being my guardian card and my quiet card. I draw a card, which is a thorough. Put it there. So it's really limiting how many cards I can have with that screen being that way. But I'm going to stop mentioning it. This gets shuffled into the deck. Shuffle those on screen so that you can see I'm shuffling them. We're down to one rain token left, which is not good because then it's going to get, well, actually the downpour, I remember last game, the downpour was the bad side of this card. So I wouldn't mind it to flip over, but there is a way. I think it's Mountain adds another rain token to it. So top of the round, we draw a card. Be a flood. Nope, it's a tributary stream. Tributary stream is an obstacle, feature, water. So there's two ways to get rid of it: focus based skill or a spirit based skill, depending on what I need. Both of them can get rid of it. All right, well, I will lower its the carnivorous naiads presence to 0. I will use quiet to kill it. I was trying to help out with my trowel, but that was not necessary. Quiet, she's powerful. Let's see. The tributary says that I can soak my feet. And it lets me put my ranger token on it, or I can add a token to that marker. I guess I'll do the first one, Spirit, because it'll let me get my cards back. So it's Spirit and Heart, one with Nature. Actually, no, Safeguard. Safeguard has 2 hearts, so that gives me a total of 3 on the test. I needed a 2. I'm glad I put Safeguard instead of one with Nature, because I got -1 there. So I'm able to soak. And it says soothe fatigue equal to your effort, which my effort was 2. I put my ranger token on it. Let's see what I drew for my fatigue deck. I got another one with Nature and another Orland Thumper. All right. There's no red bad thing symbol on any of my cards. So I guess I'll try and follow this tributary to get rid of it. I have a bold, but I need 2 successes. I need 2 successes to get that to work. I have 2 focus. Do I want to put my bold card on it? That'll give me 3. Let's do 1. We'll do 1 and we'll put the bold card for a grand total of 3. And I draw my card. I got a 0 with focus, but I did get a mountain. I know that this adds a rain back on there. Yeah, there's no other mountain symbols that are affected by anything out there. So I'm able to clear this tributary. I get my ranger token back. That gets moved. This is a difficult situation because I can't go through this deck quickly. So it's using up a lot of my deck, which again, the deck equals a day. So when your deck runs out, your day is over and you have to restart the game. Essentially, you have to start round or game 2 or 3, whatever one you're on. But you're currently on day 6. I don't have any more cards in my exhaust pile, so there's no need to eat these clams. So I kind of just, I guess I'll start putting things on the location so that when I am done, I can just get the hell out of here and go and start heading back south. So I will try the traverse action. So I'll put 2 in there. So 2, traverse takes compass. I don't have any compass. I used it all to get up this river. So let's use the deck. 2 plus 0, I still have 2. We get the bad angry symbol. I have no bad angry symbols out. So I get to add 2 tokens to my location track. For those of following at home, it requires 3 to get out of here. So, and it says you may. So if I get enough on there, it's not like it doesn't automatically move me out. It just in preparation because I'm trying to get this quest done. So need 1 more to traverse. I'm going to reset everything because I'm just trying to get through this deck. Reset, draw a card. A boundary sensor. Oh, that's pretty good. That might actually help me pretty well. So a boundary sensor, when I equip it, it requires 2 spots. So far, I've only been using 2. When a ranger performs a traverse test, commit 1 effort. This will be helpful because I'm going to have to run to the south. I'll show you the map. I have it right here. I'm not sure you'll be able to see it great, but I currently I'm here, and Cordo's Market is there. So I have a couple different ways I can get there. I can cut through the mountain, Mountain Nim, or I can go to the Artrox Mountain and cut back through Lone Tree Station. Go down Boulder Field and then get to Cordo's Market, or I can go through, go back to Mountain M, go to White Sky, Boulder Field. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's it's the same distance both ways. I wish that I had a quick way to get across this river. It's just more, do I want to cut through Atrox Mountain and Lone Tree Station, or do I want to go through Mountain Nim and White Sky? I don't know. Well, that's a problem for the future Xavier. Not current Xavier. We'll put my map right there. So that being said, I'll equip it now. We'll go ahead and get it equipped. Oh, wait, before I do that, I need to draw my card for this location. It's another Romping Lutrinol, which we have no problems with. I do take a fatigue because it's an ambush predator. And then I'm going to lower its presence to 0 and get quiet to kill it for me because she's a badass. So yeah, I'm just going to equip my boundary sensor for 1. I'm now 4 out of 5 equipment slots used, and then I'll use my last fitness to do a traverse on the location. I'm not going to use any of the tokens on my boundary sensor. Well, it does not give me the you may. It just says do it. So I guess I have to. So there's one. I didn't think about that when I did that, but I pull it out. Kind of glad I did now, because that gave me a -1. We lost a rain. We gain a rain back at the end, because we lost the rain at the end of the turn, and then we gained a rain back because of the mountain symbol. This mountain symbol, there are no active predators, so we're fine there. So yeah, I am now up to 3, which is the requirement to leave this place. So I'm ready to go as soon as I find another flood card. We're gonna just keep mulling through. I wish there was a way. Like other cards have let me look through the deck using the ability on the card. This being said, well, we'll reset everything. I'll draw a card. It's another boundary sensor. I really shuffled this deck. I promise you I did. I am able to leave to Lutrinol Holt, which is just a dam for Lutrinols. It's up the road a little ways. It's a feature. It's a layer in water. It takes 4 damage to kill it, or 2 positive tokens to clear it. I feel like destroying this during a flood would be a bad idea. Kind of mean. Quiet going over there and just murdering all the little baby. It's got little baby romping Lutrinols in there. So I feel like that would be wrong of me as a ranger to be like, go kill all those baby cat otter things. I'm just gonna bypass it. So focus. It says focus coax the Lutrinols back to their lair to add 1 lure to this feature. You may discard 1 token from the equipped food to commit 1, and it takes 2. So focus, I have 2 of those. Hearts, I'll try to get them back into their lair. 1 with nature. Let's see if I can clear it. Oh no, I needed a 2. I had 2. Card I drew, reduced it down to 1. Don't flick off the camera. It is a sunshine, so that removes a token from our downpour, which exhausts me. That is the only thing that is affected by that, so I fail. I'm trying to get these Lutrinols back into their home, and they're like, screw you, guy. I'll try it again. I have 1 focus left with 1 heart. Let's see if I do better the second time. I do. I get +1. Unfortunately, there's another sunshine symbol. So I put a token here that removes that. Let me read the downpour card. Discard 1 rain from this card. Each ranger suffers a fatigue. So I take another fatigue. If there is no rain remaining, flip this card. It goes to the Gathering Storm. And then every time I refresh, I put 2 more on it. I can also shelter to discard a rain card from this card for every 2 effort. So I can keep it on this side if I shelter for a little bit and hide, which it's not killing me too bad. It's actually helping me mull through my deck. We'll see how that works on the next area. All right, moving on. That goes there. So I put 1 there. I need 1 more. if I draw a mountain one, a mountain symbol on a test deck, it will summon a Lutronal out of this den that'll be angry at me, which I feel bad because I'll have to murder it with quiet. All right. Well, I don't need to traverse anymore. This is the card I got. I'm just trying to get through these. So, ready everything up. I draw a card. Favorite gear. Just return all these back over here. Draw a card. Flood, finally. So I'll put the Flood card on the Lutronal because that has the highest presence. I've already got one of them done, so that's great. I want to read the Flood card one more time to refresh myself. When this card enters play, attach it to the card. Or its attached card leaves play without being cleared. Nope, got that. So yeah, you just have to clear the thing on it. And then it accrues Flood tokens, and if ever the bad symbol pops up, and there's more Flood tokens on this, greater than its presence, discard it, and each ranger suffers 3 fatigue. So we just don't want the Flood tokens to build up on it. All right. So my turn. That's an easy win for me. So I will try and connect with it. Now I have a real reason to connect with it. So I'm going to focus, and coax. I need hearts. I used all my hearts. The last card I have available that has a heart, I just need one success. The success would be 2 on the test. So I'm gonna use quiet. Quiet, help me get these Lutronals into a safe location from the Flood. So there's a test of 3. I didn't need to use quiet, but better safe than sorry. Focus 0. We go down. I get a romping Lutronal, which there. Add 1 token to the weather. All right, so I clear this out. I coax the Lutronals that are around it into their den, but unfortunately, a romping Lutronal comes out to defend itself. I'll have to murder it because that's what I'm not messing around with these guys. Only a few of you will know that I got beat up real bad by these guys one time on a recording that I didn't keep, so I'm a little wary of romping Lutronals. I'm going to use my Guardian card here to lower its presence to 0, and then Quiet is going to pounce upon it and murder it. Because Xavier ain't messing around with romping Lutronals. All right, so I just need one more. So I ready everything. What this mechanic is kind of doing is it is kind of bogging the game down, but that's kind of the point because it's forcing me to go through my day. I don't have a quick way to just run through this area. It's in like city areas, you kind of know people. It's a city you can walk around. Whereas out here in the wilderness, it's like, man, you just having to go through the woods, the rough. Plus, with multiple rangers, you'd be drawing more cards, so you would be going through it faster. So, anyways, I reset everything. I draw my card. I get Ancestral Teachings. Top of the round, I draw a card from here. It's another Tributary Stream. How many Tributary Streams has there been? Just the one. Okay. I think there's 2 in the deck. So I'll have to clear that. I'm kind of fingers crossed. I need one more. I'm hoping that the next Flood card, I can keep this clear so that Tidewater Muckets will be the thing that it attaches to, and then I can just have Quiet murder it. So I'm going to focus and follow. I think that's the best bet, but I don't. I'm hesitant to get rid of my boundary sensor because I have a backup one, and I'm going to have to make a mad dash to the south. So, and we've counted it out. I think it's four movements. I have 3 left, so I get this movement basically for free because I've already done the work. So these other 3 would be able to get me through quick. So I think I'll use it. Yeah. Focus. We'll do focus 2 because I'm not going to play around. So we have a 3 on my focus. I'm going to follow the river, the tributary. Glad I put that in there. So that gives me a 3. I needed 2, so I follow the river, cheerily winding stream to move. Yep, I clear it. This gets moved. Let's move here. This gets put in my discard. That was a mountain symbol, so I do have to put a weather token there. If I ever get to 4, it's going to flip back over to the bad side of the storm. There's no active predator, so that doesn't happen. So without further ado, I guess I'll just go to the next part of the stage. Readied, everything up. These come back. Flood, yes. I drew my card. So this attaches to the Tidewater Muckets. I'm not even going to test it because there's a chance if I test, then because it has a presence of 0, it will immediately give me fatigue, and I don't want to deal with that. So, quiet, take it out. She eats those muckets, which I'm not sure how that would work in the narrative. I'm saving muckets from a flood. It's a flood. So I clear the area. I end my turn. I ready everything, and I move to the next. When I get to the travel stage, I have 3 things so I can travel. So chat, do you have an opinion? Should I head to Atrox Mountain or Mountain Nim? Essentially, it boils down to, do I want to head back through White Sky or do I want to go through Lone Tree Station? I think Lone Tree Station is a little more dangerous because it has the caustic mulcher, and I don't want to deal with that. And while it is a very small chance that I would run into it, there's not a super active predator at White Sky, whereas at Lone Tree Station, and I have the quest. I feel like I'm talking myself into going through White Tree Station because if I happen to draw it, then I can handle it. And with Quiet, I might be able to. She's persistent, so she stays out when I travel. Yeah. I've talked myself into being a responsible ranger, and I'm going to go to White Tree Station. I've never been to either of these mountain locations, so I don't know what their location card's going to be. So we'll find out. I'm not sure. I think this all just stays like it is, and I move to the next one. But let's look at the rules for persistent, and maybe that will lead us. Because I've never had to actually do this. Persistent starts with a P. Maybe keyword? Yeah, 26. Persistent cards, ready or exhausted, and all cards attached to them remain in play when you travel. So let's look at the travel rules then, because I might be doing travel wrong, which I have been known to sometimes do wrong. 14. It says you must choose a nearby location. Once the group has chosen a destination, find its location card, place it in the surroundings to place the current location. All right, so that doesn't tell me anything there. Is there a... go back and look at 33 or 37. So Traveler is one of the beginning. Forming a test. Insert all cards in the path deck and discard. So it says discard all path cards in the play area and all ranger cards within reach along the way. Okay, so, all right, I was doing that right. It made sense because I was like, I don't have to re-equip all this gear and do all that stuff because technically Quiet is not attached to me. She's in front of me. All right, that makes sense. So everything stays the same here. I'm just changing locations. So let's grab the box. And we are putting this location back in the deck. And we are looking for Aatrox Mountain. And I know that a lot of people in my friend group would probably feel like, oh, Bear, he doesn't want to cheat. He wants to make everything more difficult. I'm not going to look and see what these locations do. Just going to go into it blind. So, Aatrox Mountain has a little narrative here, which I'll keep my finger. Because I don't want to lose the During your training, Calypso would jokingly threaten to send you on patrol to Aatrox Mountain whenever she needed to provide you with some extra encouragement. Now, struggling up the side of the mountain, you can see why. The paths around Aatrox Mountain are a maze of narrow trails weaving between rockfalls and slopes of unstable scree. You know that lurking along the trail there may be an Aatrox waiting to pounce. Lore-wise, I don't know what an Aatrox is, but it's probably bad. It sounds bad. So this goes into the lakeshore area, and we are moving into the Mountain Pass, which again, this is a new biome. Not trying to cheat, but I did just see a damn cat, which doesn't scare me too much. Oh, so Aatroxes are mountain lions, essentially. Well, I feel bad for any of those that bother me because I have Quiet out. She will murk you. So again, my goal is not to lollygag. That's a nice southern word for you. My goal is to get through this area as quick as possible and get to where I'm needed. So it says, arrival setup, lead ranger, search the path deck for the next obstacle and put it in play. Oh man. I'm trying not to look at these. I'm just looking at, oh man, well there it is. My first obstacle. So I'll shuffle these. Now that I looked at them, I'll drop the card. Drop the card. All right, shuffle those. So I start this area with an obstacle just in the way. That sucks. All right, so the actual Aatrox Mountain. It's a big mountain. Fitness plus triangle. gives you the ability to climb the steep and perilous route to add 2 things to this location for every effort. Then it fatigues you. Jesus. It just fatigues you. Maybe I should have gone the other way. Oh, well, you live and you learn. All right, so we've done that. Shale scree, it's an obstacle. I have to try and get past the scree somehow. Good Lord, has a 6 tokens to clear this thing. Awareness plus compass. I have chosen poorly. Atrox Mountains are not the place to go through. We're learning this the hard way. So it says, this is up the road a little ways, the shell scree. It says, it is an obstacle, awareness plus the compass, scramble 2. So I need to get 2 successes. I'm scrambling up the slope of shifting rocks to add 3, that's not too bad, 3 tokens to this feature for every 2 effort. If you fail, resolve its mountain challenge effect. So the mountain challenge effect says, move this feature within reach. It fatigues you. Move each being that is within reach of me. Oh, so I'd move them up the road because they're fleeing the rock slide. And then if it's within reach and I get the bad symbol, then I put it back in the deck and I take an injury. Not a fatigue, but just a straight up injury. Jeez. All right. Well, we can do this. I can't use quiet to kill it. I have to get over this. Thankfully, awareness is my best stat. So we'll see what happens. First action I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my spirit to attach favorite gear to boundary sensory. I need to get over this thing. So I have a couple options here. It uses the compass. I guess I would have technically drawn a card at the end of that turn. I drew into Astute, which does not help in this situation. So I have a couple options here. I can be risky. I'll be risky for the first one. I'm going to try and scramble up this thing. So I spent 1 green. I'm hoping that I draw into a +1 on my awareness, and that'll give me 2. Oh my goodness, +1. So I got 2. I did get a sunshine. The flooding is not really affecting the mountains here, but I did get a sunshine. I don't see any sunshine symbols, but I got 2, so that gives me 3 for every 2 effort. I got 2 effort. Boom. Man, that was great. So I put 3 symbols on there. I only need to do that one more time, which I'm going to immediately do. Let's see if I can pull this off as successfully as the first time. I feel like I just jinxed myself, but I didn't. 2 plus 0 equals 2. Basic math here on Friendly Neighborhood Gamer with Bear. So I got 2 successes. I needed a 2. I put 3 more on there, and I scramble over this damn shale scree. Nimble. All right, so it's kind of within reach. So to leave this area, it's a climb. So I can do the base of traverse, or I can try and climb. I have the boundary sensor, which whenever I traverse, it gives me an extra success. But I get an injury if I fail. Whereas if I try to climb it, it's not a traverse, so it won't use my boundary sensor. And it will give me 2 for every success. So this game seems to be about risk because you don't know what you're going to get. Do I have any triangles? I have triangles. So I might try the climbing skill that comes on the card. I need 5. Let's try 1 climb. I got two chances at this. So I'm doing 1 climb. I'm going to use my triangle, so that gives me a total of 3. And I need 2 successes, all right? Adds 2 tokens for every success. So I've got 3 there. That would give me 6 total if I was to get this. Oh, crap. Well, I got 3. I got -1, so that goes down to 2. It's a mountain symbol, which adds another weather token on the storm. I got rid of the scree, so there's none of that. All right, so I have 2 successes. That puts 4 tokens on this thing. Man, that's great. I don't have any more triangles on any of my cards. So I'm going to do a traverse action because I'm pretty powerful when it comes to that, thanks to my boundary sensor. So I'm going to spend my last fitness. Automatically this pops out. And do I have any compasses? I do not. So I'm starting off at a 2, and I need a 2 to succeed. So let's see what happens. Hey, nothing bad. I'm out of the mountains. Woo! I did use a token off of that. Favorite item gives me 1. Oh, wow. Familiar ground. That's great. That'll get me through the next area. Lickety split. Lickety split. I sound like an old person. I sound like an old person. Hauling butt. Hauling butt. All right. So I would end my turn. I'd ready everything, which I've done. I draw a card. I get another compass I get 2 compasses on bold. I now meet the requirements to leave this area. So I see why I got a small taste of Aatrox Mountain, but I leave it behind. I didn't add anything to the deck, so I'm good. So Aatrox Mountain and the Aatrox Mountain is left behind. I am moving to climb that wall, Cool Blue says. Great to see you, Blue. So I've gone from Aatrox Mountain down to Lone Tree Station. And then from there, I will go into Boulder Field to Kobo's Market. So Lone Tree Station. Here we come. I got to put in all of the Lone Tree Station stuff to the deck. Again, I'm not really hoping to really interact with anything here. I'm just trying to get through it because there's a flood going on. Woods. Thankfully, it stopped raining for a little bit, so I can move. Well, I'm not near the water, essentially, so I'm not getting any of the flooding cards. All right, I shuffled those. I'm going to shuffle them by hand just to mix them up slightly a little bit more. We've read this intro a few times, but I will give you a recap. It's just that I'm heading towards Lone Tree Station, which has the Giga Redwood that people have started living out of. There's hanging gardens. There's a now that I think about it, there's a I think it only can be flown if it's not raining. So there is a landing pad on top of Lone Tree Station that has like a hopper or like a bug type machine that you can get into, and it'll leap into the air and fly you somewhere within its range. But I think it has to be a sunny day, and it is clearly not. It's raining because this crazy man made the storm happen. So search the path deck for the next predator and discard it. There's Wolf Hund, so we get rid of that. And then Lead Ranger draws a path card. I drew Stick to Buck, which they're pretty peaceful as long as there's not another buck around. And this place is fairly easy. I can literally probably just clear this and just keep running pretty quickly. So, start of the round, I draw a card. Overgrown Thicket. Of course, I would get that. It comes up the road a little ways. It is a flora obstacle and a feature. I do have Familiar Ground, which lets me add 3. So I'm probably going to just do that. I really like the animation, the art on this card, because it has a man jumping over some type of spore thing with a stick. He's pole vaulting over it. This is an obstacle. That's an obstacle. This is what this card is made for. So I'm going to pay 1 fitness to do that. It says add a damage to a flora and add 3 to the trail. So I'm just jumping, pole vaulting right over this damn thing. Blue wants to know, do I have the murder cat? Yes. Quiet is out. She is on the prowl. She was very intricate in helping me clear the northern side of the lake. I was able to clear it quickly. Any otter cats, romping lutrinals that popped up, just murdered them. No problem. So I pole vault over the overgrown thicket. I put 3 tokens on that. I end my turn immediately because, again, this is a breakneck speed. I'm trying to get to where the action is. So I have 3 tokens here on Lone Tree Station. I didn't stop to talk to anybody. I am being a responsible ranger and going where the need is. I end my turn. I get these back. I draw a card, which I get another Familiar Ground. Again, I promise you, I did shuffle these cards. I clear this. I leave Lone Tree Station. I thought that was going to be more of a pain in the neck, but it wasn't. I'm going to quickly take these out, the cards that are not for Lone Tree Station. Oh. I thought that Lone Tree Station was the home of the caustic mulcher, but it is not, in fact. The woods are the home of the caustic mulcher, so I still have a chance of running into this thing. I was under the impression that it hung around Lone Tree Station. Blue is suspicious of my shuffling. Getting exactly what I need right when I need it. Let me take these out, and I'll put in next location, and I'm going to be smart for once and just go ahead and get the location cards out that I need. So for the sake of my sanity, let me just map this out. So now I'm heading to Boulder Field, and then I'm going to Kobo's Market. So I think Kobo's Market sounds like a town. Watch it not be. It doesn't have the yellow behind it, so I might actually be wrong. I think it's just a regular old location. So let's see. Boulder Field is there, and then we're gonna go to Kobo's Market. I won't look to see what any of those locations do. Kobo's Market, I won't look to see what that does because I want to be surprised when I get there. But Boulder's Field, it is a forest. It says, well, I'll read the little blurb for you. Boulder's Field. I did move through here during training, if you recall, if you've watched that video. Long ago, a great mountain once stood here, but as millenniums passed, it steadily split and crumbled. At the edges of the boulder field, the ground is littered with rocks the size of apples. As you head deeper in, however, the boulders grow larger until you find yourself weaving between what you imagine to be the bones of the lost mountain, pillars of rock that reach into the sky. All right, so upon arrival, draw one challenge card and do the following based on the challenge icon on that card. Wow. Mountain. Draw one path card. That should get shuffled back in. Drawing a path card. It's a wolf hund. Prowling wolf hund. It reduce the ongoing effect for this location is reduce the presence of all beings and play by one. Then I will have to handle this wolf hund. Yes, I have already mentioned that blue in chat about, I'm not sure why this portion here is black. We'll have to troubleshoot it later. For those of you who don't know, maybe this is your first time tuning in, not a weird place to tune in. If you're watching this on YouTube, Cool Blue is our tech guardian. That's the term we decided on. CTG of our company. And he always is fixing problems that he likes to say is my fault. But just because I'm older than him doesn't mean that I'm always the cause of the problems. Anyways, so we have the Prowling Wolf Hund, which, again, I'm not too worried about because, as Blue brought out in chat, I have my Murder Cat. I'm going to... well, before I do that, start of the round, I draw another card. Oh, there's two of them, right? That's a little more worrisome. That's a little more worrisome. I'll immediately lower this guy to 0 from 1, and then I'll exhaust quiet to just straight up murk him. Old Faithful, she's good. I didn't read this. It says if there's another predator in play, this predator comes into play exhausted. I love that. I'm going to not try to mess with these wolf hunts. I'm just going to keep running. This is a speed run. I'm trying to get to where I need to go. So to advance Boulder Field, I need 3 tokens on there. I'm going to use Familiar Ground, or, well, I have to add a damage to a flora, and there is no flora out. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to do the regular old Traverse. So it's a fitness and compass action. Traverse X. Add a token to the location equal to your effort. But if I fail, I take an injury, which will clear out my fatigue cards and be a bad day. So I'm going to put everything I got into this. There's 2. I've got another compass there, so that's 4. And then, do I want to use Familiar Ground? That would put me up to 5. Again, I need four successes to complete this. So I'm going for, it says X. So I'm guessing X is the number. That's an interesting way to look at it. I think I'm going to say X is the number that you're trying to, as long as you get anything, it's good. So I'm not going to do that. It's a low risk, high reward. So I've done 4. I actually get +1 on the card. So that's 5. I needed 4. I'm good. So I have all 4 of my tokens here on the location. It's not a hard location. Again, I'm still pretty much in the newbie area of this world. I do get the bad symbol, but the only thing that has it is exhausted, so ignore it. I was traversing, so I have to use that. So technically, I got 6 successes. That favorite gear gives me a card from there, which is the intention translator. I discard these because they're out of tokens and they're using up space. All right. I'm not going to stick around to try and mess with this other wolf hunt. I'm going to end my turn. Travel. I have the tokens available, so I'm going to travel. This is the fastest I've ever moved. But to be fair, I've never actually tried to move this fast. So Boulder's Field moves us into Kobo Market, and that is a new symbol as well. I don't really know that one. That's a new biome. Let's look what that symbol is and see. So these all go back in the box for the forest. Grassland. Exciting, exciting. We get to see a new biome. I'm putting Boulder's Field back in the box. So we've gone through, we started on Lakeshore, we went through the mountains, we went through the woods, and now we're in our 4th biome of this session today, where we're going into the grasslands. So that's exciting. I've not looked at any of these cards. I'm going to shuffle them real quick because I don't know what they came out of the box in. And I've already got one person in chat calling me sus because my drawing habits are looking rough. So I'm going to keep this honest. That's what I appreciate about Blue. He makes me an honest man. I also have to shuffle my test deck because I got a shuffle symbol last time. I'm scared to say this, but I'm going to show that I'm not superstitious. This is going pretty well. Everybody groans at home as I jinx myself and all right, well, this is our last location for the quest. So I'm going to use 1.05 as the quest dictates in the book. Kobo's Market. From far off, you can hear shouts of alarm. You can just make out the dell that holds Kobo Market through the driving rain. The water around the main structure is already knee-deep, and you can see Ren Kobo's porters saving what goods they can, retreating to the upper balcony. I feel like this should have a thing, but it doesn't have a golden back, therefore it doesn't have it. It says, search the path deck for the next feature and put it into play. Arrival. So we'll search from the bottom. Whispering Fields. Try not to look because this area looks interesting. I'm putting this into play. It's a feature, flora, and trail. When you would draw a path card, instead attach it face down to this feature. After this feature enters play, draw a path card. X is equal to the... So Whispering Fields is the name of this card. Sorry, I'm struggling over. Can't spell shuffle without the sus. Hashtag true story, Blue says in chat. So when you would draw a path card, instead attach it face down to this feature. So when I would draw a card, it goes underneath. After this feature enters play, draw a path card. So it's in play, I'm drawing a path card. Its presence is X. X is equal to twice the number of face down cards attached to this feature. Okay, so it's about to be the start of the turn. I'm going to draw another one. It'll be a 4. Awareness plus heart equals sense the movement in the tall grass to choose a number of attached face down cards at random equal to your effort and look at them. Choose one to put into play. If it has the ambush keyword, treat it as if it does not. That's an interesting mechanic. So I'm going to have things under here. The more things that get under there, the higher the presence will be, which essentially is make it, because it is it is blocking my way. I can choose not to do it, but it'll fatigue me because it's hard to get through. It's a 6 damage to kill this thing. Thankfully, I'm a guardian. Oh no! Oh no! My guardian card says it has to be a being. This is not a being. It's just plants. So I can't do my wombo combo of using quiet to murder stuff and me to lower its presence so she doesn't take any damage. I just got to deal with this thing. Thankfully, I have my Carbon Forge trowel out, and this is Flora, so I can garden this thing up. It takes 6 damage to kill it, or I can just work with it. So awareness plus heart, sense the movement in the tall grass to choose a number of attached face down cards at random equal to your effort and look at them. Choose one to put into play if it has the ambush keyword. Oh yeah, before I get any further, I need to put the flood here. So I'll keep this out. I'm going to shuffle all of these back together with the flood cards in there. And I'm not cheating. I just want to make sure that the flood cards are not next to each other. So at best, we don't get them back to back. Oh wait, this is day 2, so one of those stays out. All right, I promise you, I'm doing this somewhat right. All right, so this came out into play. This immediately goes underneath it. This is attached to it because it's the flood card. And then at the beginning of my turn, I draw a card. Oh, sorry. And instead of drawing it, it just goes immediately underneath it. So its presence is currently 4, which is horrible, horrible, horrible. But we'll deal with it. I've now gotten here properly. Kodo's Market has an action on it that says, focus plus heart, you can haggle 3. Haggle with the vendors of the market to return a gear from your hand to your collection. Choose a starting gear from your collection that you meet the aspect requirements for and add it to your hand. This alteration to your deck is permanent. So this allows you to trade an item and then go through the leftover cards in the deck and put a new item in, which is interesting because it doesn't say set. When you build your deck initially, you have to take both cards. So this would allow you to have only one Orland Thumper instead of taking both of them, or one Intention Translator instead of taking both cards. So interesting. This is a way to vary your deck in a way. So cool. That's a cool feature. All right. So whenever I draw Sunshine, I put tokens on the fields here, and I don't want that to happen. So let us try and start cutting down these whispering fields. I kind of just see it as me clearing the way so that things can get out of the flood, out of the way of the flood that's happening. So, oh God, a spirit. Do I have any triangles? Crap. That is not good. I am not good at this at all. So I have this that lets me add a damage to a flora, so that'd be 1 out of 6. Just trying to think of out of the box ways to do this. So I'll do that now. Familiar ground, add a damage to a flora. There's 1 of 6. So like 16 point something percent of the damage needed. And I get to add 3 of these to the trail, which I only need 4 to leave this place. So that's not bad. Let's try to tend. The only triangle that I have is on my Intention Translator. So I'll in for a penny, in for a pound, man. We got 2. Let's test. Hey, nothing bad happens. So I got 2 successes. Sunshine adds a token to the... Nope, it does not add it there. Add a flood token to the attached card. So if ever the flood tokens are more than its presence, so that's one beneficial thing of this thing being massive and huge, is that it will not be easily flooded because it's massive and huge. So I deal 2 damage more to this thing. So, hey, I'm 50% of the way there, man. There's a cool mechanic that I could like look for things, awareness plus hearts, and I could try and draw things out of this, but I'm like, that lowers its presence. I don't want to do that. Instead, I'm going to try and clear this thing out so that the creatures can easily get through. Oh no, wait. Sunshine says, put a random attached face down card into play, and if it has ambush, ignore it. So I don't know what either of these 2 cards are. So chat, should I go top or bottom? Top or bottom? Top, bottom, left, right. 3, 2, 1. Left. All right. It's an I thought it was going to say antelope, but it's a artelope, which looks like a deer and a dog had a baby. Being prey and mammal. It starts off in front of me. It's easily murdered. Not as easily connected with. If there's an active card with 2 or more presence, shuffle this being into the path deck, and then draw 1 path card. As the Sunshine action, the Mountain action, if there's an active predator, exhaust it and add damage. And then if there's 1 or more damage on this being, exhaust each ready artelope and add a damage to each being and each ranger Wow. So they're like they damage, they fight in a herd essentially. So if there's one or more damage on this being, exhaust each ready other version of this. So it and itself and others. And then put a damage to each being so that they like stampede. So we don't want it to, if we damage it, we want it dead. All right. All right. So that being said, I don't have any more there. I can still just try to straight up stab the grass, I guess. I do have a lot of combat cards. I guess I'll do that. Let's do that. Here, we'll do one. Let's clear this out so that it makes sense. 2, 3. I needed 2 to do 1 damage. So if I could technically get 6 successes, I could kill this thing outright, which I'm kind of worried about. I'm also like curious that when I clear this, do all the things that are in it pop out, or do they get shuffled back in? I think they all go to the discard because when you clear it, like normally when a card goes away, all the things that are attached to it go away as well. So I think that would be the case in this. That would be my calling. Get at me in the comments if I'm doing it wrong or if I am misinterpreting that mechanic. All right, so I've got 3. I've got enough if I just decimate my hand. And I feel all right doing that because I have quiet. So if there is a predator or something that comes out, I can really just handle it. I'm not too scared of it. I'm going to keep this Artilope out because if the next flood card comes out, hopefully it'll attach to that and I can just get quiet to help it along. So yeah, in for a penny, in for a pound. We're going to put 3, 4, 5, 6 on this one test and see if I can just knock it out the park, Luke. Knock it out. Oh, no. -1. So that goes from from a 6 down to a 5. My gamble was not successful. So I still get to put 2 more on there, 2 more damage, but I don't get to just straight up murk it. So I am now at 5 of 6. I don't have any more tokens for that. This is a red symbol, so it says if the number of flood tokens on the attached card is greater than its presence, discard it. And each ranger, nope, I've only got 1 and its presence is 2. The Artilope says if there are 1 or more damage, we haven't hurt the Artilope, so the Artilope's not going to be defensive. So, yep, that's that. Man, that was rough. But that's the nature of this game. This game feels a lot like a push your luck game. So you're hoping that you get it good. Like it's taking, instead of dice, it's taking a card mechanic to represent dice, and I'm liking it. It's very unforgiving. Like it's very difficult. So that being said, I'm gonna end my turn because there's not an easy way to mull through. I guess you could look through here, but I hope that other card down there is not a flood. That would be the worst thing ever. We'll take the risk and find out. Because these cards cannot go into the discard. They have to go back into the deck. So when I kill this, all the cards that are attached to it will get spit out into the discard as they run away as I kill the grass. Yeah. So top of the round, I draw another card, which is a good thing. I draw a card. Everything resets. I got my Gauls Blade. Nice. If I need to kill something and quiet isn't available, this thing can help. So now its presence goes from a 2 back up to a 4 because there are 2 cards under it, giving me a little more wiggle room. hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not it's not the other flood card in that deck. And I am going to let's see. I'm going to I'm going to, I guess, do the action on the trowel again, because I just don't have any triangles to assist with it. It doesn't have a downside. So I will spend one. I don't get injured if I fail. I just need one more to get this thing out. Fingers crossed. Hey! 1, 0. So I get 1. I'm able to put the last point of damage on this and clear it, which is great. I clear the flood card, so I put first of 3 on there. I'll shuffle this back in. These cards all go in the discard. None of them. I'm not going to look, but I see a pig and an anthill. That's kind of cool. I won't read their card. I shuffle this flood into the deck. I'm going to cut just to... All right, so I clear that. Clear this stuff out. Part of me is like, I want to just murder this because I'm a child, apparently, and I want to just kill stuff when I can. But instead, I'm going to remember my training. So I'm going to spend 1. I'm not going to do any triangles. So I won. Let's see if I can remember it. Nothing bad happens. I do add a token to the weather because I got that. And I think oh man, I've not been doing that. But we'll do it now. For the sake of fairness. It says add 2 rain on this card if there are 4 or more rain tokens. A peal of thunder fills the air and a heavy rain begins. So we'll flip that over, and in the sake of being fair, I will take 3 fatigue. Because I should have been taking a fatigue when this card's over. Blue, thank you for tuning in while you could. So, my bad. I was not keeping up with that. That's the one thing that this game is very intricate. There's a lot of moving parts. So, keeping up with something and it's like, oh man, we forgot to do this. In the sake of fairness, I'll take 3 fatigue to say all right. So there's not a way to mill cards. I got 1 success, so I get to scout. I have links already, so I'm going to put that on the bottom, and then I draw a card. I get another intention translator. And then I will do it again just to kind of fill my hand out a little bit, but unfortunately I fail. I take a token off of this because it's raining and the sun came out. I take another fatigue, so my deck's getting a little thin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards left. So I'm getting towards the end of the day here. I need to get 2 more tokens on this. So the way they've got this set up is that it's like you're rushing to get down here, and there's no easy way to go through these decks. So I very well might fail this because I've got essentially 6 turns left before, and I've got to get 3 tokens on this. So I end my turn. I ready everything. I put my tokens back on here. Well, before I do that, I do I want to end in this area or do I want to go back home? I think I'm going to go back home when this is over. So I will, I'm preparing for the end of the game. I spend that. I'll do a traverse action. I don't have any there. So let's see. Traverse, I need to get a positive of some sort. If I fail, I get an injury. So I'll put 2 on there. I'm glad I did because I spent 2. I get -1. Unfortunately, the mountain puts another rain token on the thing. And I'm able to put the last token onto the location so that we can move out of this area. All right, so now I'll reset. That's a better use of my resources. Why not use tokens? Why not use my resources when I'm not, instead of just resetting? Yep. So I draw a card. I get a safeguard, which gives me 2 hearts to use stuff with. I get to actually draw a card and it goes out here into the wild. Oh, dear God. Blood-beckoned Velox. It's a being, predator, mammal. It is an ambush, so I immediately take a fatigue. If a ranger is injured, this being gains disconnected, which I don't know what that is, but I'm not injured, so we'll find out another day. I'm not too worried about this because, again, I have quiet. But it's a fox-looking creature. I'll see if I can bring it up a little bit. Yeah, it's a fox-looking creature, and it's pouncing out of the high brush. There's a bunch of other things, but I'm not going to let you find out about it because I'm going to immediately use Guardian, and then I'm going to tap that and kill it. We ain't messing around with no crazy-looking fox monster-looking thing. Nope. Turned up his outside with the dogs. Scared the poop out of me for a second. Gosh, I need a way to get through this deck faster because it's really just coming down to, do I have enough cards to survive this? If I keep getting ambushed, because that literally, I went from, this is turn 6, and I lost a turn because of that stupid fox. Well, let me use its proper name. The Blood-beckoned Velox. So I'm going to reset my turn and hope that I get a card that get one of the flood cards. I draw a card, Astute. It gives me triangles. I have the capability to travel if I want to. I don't want to. So I will draw my next card. A Morning Root. It's feature, flora, food, fit, and triangle. You can slice and share the tear-inducing vegetable to add 1 damage to this feature. Suffer 1 fatigue and choose a ranger. That ranger soothes 3 fatigue. So I guess it's similar to like an onion. It's making you cry. So you take a fatigue and then you can let somebody else heal 3 fatigue. Unfortunately, it's just me. So that'd be a net gain of 2 fatigue, which is not bad. But I don't need these cards. I need to not draw cards. Oh, it does have a feature that if there is a predator, if there's an active prey, this thing is eaten by the prey. So yeah, I'm just trying to mill cards. So we'll go through. I ready everything, put everything back. Unfortunately, this can deal damage to the artilope if it eats it. So then it would make it angry and it would attack everybody. Draw another card. Harvester Anthill. I have to draw a card. So I've got 2 turns left after this, which we just saw that is not the card that I need. Feature, food, obstacle. X is equal to the number of damage on this feature. So as you deal damage to it, it becomes a bigger obstacle. I guess you kick an anthill essentially. If there's one or more tokens on this, the ground sinks under your feet. Discard one. Yeah, so this is an obstacle that's a pain in the butt. Jeez. Apparently there's a creature called a Scroff, which will go to town on these things. Well, I can try and mess around with these things, or I can keep looking for the cards that I need. But I have a feeling, unfortunately, that the heart of the cards is not with me today. So I draw a card. It's another Carbon Forged Trowel. It gives me a compass. So I draw top here. Hey, it's a flood. Finally. It goes to the creature with the highest presence, which this presence is equal to the amount of damage on it. This has a presence of 0. So I'm going to attach this to the Artilope. Boom. Which I'm going to immediately use Guardian and Quiet to kill. And gives me my second one. Man, Quiet is like almost a bit like cheating. She's just really powerful. So that goes back. All right. Literally, if I draw one more flood, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 cards. 2 of them are floods. That's a little worse than 33%. I know my D6 math, you add a 7th side to it and it messes it up. But I don't like the odds. So I've shuffled that. I'm not messing with the anthill because I don't want to piss it off. And I'm not messing with the morning root. They're both currently at 0. I could pretty easily kill the morning root. The anthill would be a little more difficult. I draw my last card. Persuasive. And unfortunately, I drew into an Artilope. So, as I go about this, I've given this my best effort. The cards were not with me. I can sit here and mess with these guys more. It should be down to 3 because I've gone 3 times. So I'm down 1 left. But I can't win. I'm out of cards. My day ends. And there's not a way to search this deck. That was rough. So it boils down to a little bit of you just got to get to where you got to get as fast as possible. And then, I think I ended my day too early last time. But let's see what happens. It's on the sheet. So that was day 5. So we will start day 6, and there is a quest thing to read, unfortunately. And so we'll find out on our next video what that'll be. But we are ending our day here. Unsuccessful. I was not able to help the residents and creatures of Kobo's Market. The flood. I was not a good ranger. Oh. Well, everybody, this has been the Friendly Neighborhood Gamers solo play of Rangers, Earthborne Rangers, Lure of the Valley. I'm your host, Bear. I've been playing Xavier Lothright, and we'll see what the repercussions of my failure is next episode. So as always, keep those dice rolling, or in this case, keep those cards flipping. Thanks for tuning in. Now to see if I can end it.